Let's get some analysis from Robert Maginnis. He's a Pentagon senior strategist and a retired US Army Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you for your time, Robert. Now, just a few days ago, we saw images of Russia's build-up, this massive build-up of strategic bombers, signalling that there were massive strikes coming. So was today's wave it, or does Russia have another higher gear?
No, I think that this was certainly a significant strike by the Ukrainians against those two Russian strategic bomber forces. It sends a very clear message to the Kremlin that there's no safe area now, even in Russia. And that's going to force them to put their forces in depth and not just to focus inside Ukraine or along the perimeter. The other baffling aspect of this is that, they did not detect these drones as they came in. In one case, at least, it came from Ukraine, which was hundreds of miles away. So the air defense systems within Russia are evidently very porous. And then, of course, the other one inevitably was launched with the assistance of special operations forces that were inside Russia. Now, if they can reach out 400 miles, they can go another 500 miles into downtown Moscow if they choose to. So, having destroyed much of Ukraine, Ukrainians are now taking the fight to the Russians.
So what could that mean for Ukraine's counteroffensive?
Well, I think that it will take pressure off the counteroffensive because Russia has been focused its artillery, its reconnaissance capabilities and its troops well forward. So now they're going to have to look at every corner all the way up to Moscow. If they can, in fact, reach out and have an explosion that is attributed to the Ukrainian special forces as far away as Moscow, then they're going to have a significant impact not only on the morale of the Russian people, but they're going to put Mr. Vladimir Putin in a very tight situation. He'll start getting complaints from his generals. He'll get complaints from the oligarchs and, of course, others in the region. So I think that the tactic, or the strategy here by Zelensky and his general officers is probably pretty sound. Well, we'll have to wait and see if they get longer range capabilities. I know they've been asking for HIMARS with the long-range missile that can range a couple hundred miles into Russia. So we'll have to wait and see if the U.S. and or other allies in NATO do provide the Ukrainians with this capability. And that, of course, will continue to change the situation that we've seen over the last 9 months.
Okay, so that could be, I guess, a bit of a warning shot to Russia, as you said there. Now, if we can just have a look at the oil cap. The price cap has been put on Russian oil. That's kicked in, as well as a ban on the import of seaborne Russian crude. So the West is really trying to hit Russia where it hurts, but will these efforts actually put any dent in Putin's war chest?
Yeah, I think as your reporter indicated, the Indians are buying a lot of crude. So are the Chinese, and so if they can't sell it to Europe, the Russians will obviously find a market elsewhere. And neither Beijing or any of the other what I would consider less than favorable to the West countries are going to do precisely what fits their best interest. And if they can get cheap oil out of Russia, they'll do precisely that. And of course, that does undermine to a certain degree the efforts to impose sanctions. However, the sanctions have already hurt much of Russia. I think they'll continue on technology and the like. And of course, this new effort by the Ukrainians to reach into Russia proper is going to put them on their heels to a certain degree. So we'll have to wait and see if they, as a result, adjust their strategy.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your analysis. That's Robert Maginnis. He's a Pentagon senior strategist and retired Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you.